And hello everyone, welcome for this first playday of TMM Team Cup 2025 on TMNF, a team tournament in TMNF, can you believe it? In 2025, we have a lot of good teams, a lot of old school players, and yeah, everything is set for a great tournament. Old school mappers as well. So let's see how it goes. We are at the very first play day, so here are the groups. So I'm playing for team TRT. So we are focusing on Group C right here. We are with the Faint, Old Friends, and Insanity. We are playing against Insanity tonight. They got 14th in the seeding out of 16 team, and we got 11th. So it's yeah, a very important match for us. If we don't win tonight, it's gonna be really hard to access to the playoff. Top two teams will reach the playoff. And yeah, as for the format, it will be 3v3 on three maps, and yeah, just a normal best of three. No fancy viewer-friendly format. Just the classic 3-3 best of 3 maps. Play till 7 with tennis mode. So yeah, we have for TRT, so we have mostly Portuguese players. I would say our best players will be Default and Oregon. We really will be relying on them tonight. I'm not sure how much Oregon practice though. Meanwhile, for Insanity, I see they have only 4 players in the server, but if they all grinded all maps, then they will do well. I saw Kay and Valden had sometimes in the Derry. So I expect them to do pretty well. So both teams are pretty old. I see Insanity at least for like a good 10 years, I would say, that I see this tag. And TRT, of course, is a team that has been on TMNF for yeah, a good 15 years at least. Even though we haven't seen TRT for quite a while now. They still kept a bit of a community on TMNF. And that was ready to gather a team for this TMM. So looks like we are in the last warm-up. So the lineups, so for TRT will be the red team, and Insanity will be the blue team. So Oregon, Flash, and Default for TRT. And looks like it's gonna be Valden, K, and Schnulli for Insanity. So mostly German players, I think, in Insanity. And mostly Portuguese players in TRT. I think only Abba and myself are not Portuguese. Alright, looks like that was the last warm-up. Good luck, have fun. First map is gonna be TMM Numinous by Razor, Hot Razor. And yeah, in my opinion, it's a pretty bad map, but it's the same for everyone, of course. It's the same map for everyone, so the players gotta do what they gotta do. The world record is by what I assume is Subin, tied with Mickey with a 45.59. And here we go, following Oregon. Sadly, we don't have bears on this camera angle. Anything else seems to not be functional, so... And it looks like a really strong start from Insanity with all 3 players at the top. But through this drop... Oh, and Oregon is gonna crash, and it's looking really good for Insanity. Looking even like an ace for Insanity. Default and Flash will need a really strong end here, and yeah, it doesn't look good. Default is dropping down. And looks like Insanity will score a really convincing first round, and I have only hotkeys for Default and Oregon. But really strong run by Insanity. Valden and Kay with yeah, decent round times, I would say. At least very well fast enough for this first round. 1-0 for Insanity. And it looked pretty convincing, so TRT is gonna have to step it up right here. Otherwise it might go really fast on this first map, but looks like it's a much better start for TRT with Flash and Oregon. Off to pretty good start, but I think Flash crashed. Default though is on a decent run as well. Still top 2 for TRT with Oregon and Default, but Valden and K with more speed through the drop. This U-turn is critical, there's a pretty nasty gear here, and the ending is pretty tricky as well. It's still a TRT round for now with Oregon and Default first and second. K, so if K can snipe first place, it would be a round for Insanity. Oregon and Default need good end, but no, Oregon and Default will keep first and second, and this round will go to TRT. Flash was even able to overtake Schnulli, who made a mistake. 46-15 and 0.21 by Default in Oregon, pretty similar to what K and Valden did on the previous round, so we could be on a really close match here. 1-1 is the score. Oh, and we see a crash from Oregon and also a player from Insanity. I think it was Schnulli. So we are down to a 2v2 situation, and on this game you cannot really see who's yeah, you cannot keep track of the checkpoints, so it's hard to see. Okay, looks like Oregon is ahead of Schnulli, and Default is super far ahead, so it looks really good for TRT. But of course they need to not make mistake. Flash also moving up to second place. If he can keep even fourth, it should be good. Oh, but Default, I think, lost the gear. He's gonna lose a lot of ground on K, but he will hold on to first place. And it is gonna be a red-blue rainbow in favor of TRT. 2-1 is the score. For TRT bouncing back pretty well after this difficult first round. But I think this match can be really close. Both teams look to be driving similar times. Start favoring slightly TRT, I would say, with Default in first. Very different lines through this 270-degree corner. But Insanity with bottom 2, so it is still looking decent for TRT. And Default and Oregon with top 2. Flash is pretty well placed, and Valden will crash, so it looks like it's gonna be another round for TRT, unless they massively crash the end, but no. And it will even be an ace for TRT. Even an ace for TRT, a nice group effort with a 46-11 from Oregon, 14 by Flash and 15 by Default. So really, yeah, really good consistency right here on these last 3 rounds by TRT, and it's paying off. 3-1 is the score. Can TRT keep it up, or will Insanity bounce back? Only one way to find out is to wait and see. Looks like a good start for Insanity. Oregon in last, Flash also at the bottom. Oh, a lot of crashes. It's hard to keep track, but it looks like it's favoring TRT, who ended up with top 2 with Default and Oregon. And Schnulli is the only player left for Insanity. And Schnulli will even overtake Oregon, but it's not enough. Oregon with a better hairpin here. But Default lost a lot of ground, so Schnulli now is back in the mix. If they can keep Schnulli behind, it will be for sure round for TRT. I think Default will take first. Schnulli will even crash the end. I don't think it would have mattered. Even if Schnulli had won this, it would have been a round for TRT. But yeah, on this game, it's hard to keep track on what's happening behind, because we don't have the checkpoint times on TMNF when we are in spec mode. So it's definitely... I'm not used to cast match on TMNF, I mostly cast it on TM2 and a bit on TM20. But the vast majority of my casts were done on TM2, and yeah. That game is for sure a lot more convenient for casting than TMNF. But yeah, 4-1 is the score for TRT. It's looking pretty even. Default still in first place, but Oregon will need third. Oh, and Oregon will crash, so I think it's gonna be around for Insanity here, unless they crash at the end, which they won't, so it's gonna be around for Insanity. Yeah, Default won the round, but it's bottom two for Oregon and Flash, so Insanity is scoring a point here. And the score is now 4-2 in favor of TRT. And it's looking good for TRT with Default and Oregon first and second. Default in first, overtaken by his teammate Oregon, but still looking really good. If they can keep it up, it's gonna be a 5th point for... No, Oregon with a crash, but Flash... I think Flash is in second place, so it should still be a point for TRT. Sadly, I only have hotkeys on Default, and where is Flash? Flash is still in second place, so yeah, it is gonna be a point for TRT. Moving the score up to 5-2. And 45.95 by default. I would say 45 in rounds is a good time, a good match time. Alright, round number 8. The score is 5-2 in favor of TRT on this first map, and I see a crash from Schnully, I think it was. He didn't lose that much ground though, he's still not too far behind Flash. Oregon in first and Default in third, battling with Valden, so it's looking again really good for TRT. Only 2 more corners to go. This is the last drift, the last corner is full speed, and Default and Oregon will bring it home and move up to map point. It's even an ace with Flash in third place. And we are up to map point. It's played till 7, and yeah, score is 6-2. But I am in Suivers. I am already. Suivers means following. But as you can see, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah. I have no idea why. So yeah, Oregon and Default looking pretty good. Flash also instead Default crashing though. So it's still looking like TRT is gonna close it out, but Oregon and Flash need to keep this up. Insanity players are pretty far behind, so they can take it easy. They can save pretty hard. One more corner and TRT will win map number 1. There we go, Oregon and Flash. Oregon with another time under 46 seconds. Really good performance by TRT, winning this map 7-2. And Oregon left the server. Yeah, he was playing only this map. So I don't know if it's the map I'm playing or not. Because I will be playing. No, okay, the next map is Sentinel, so I will be playing on the last map. Yeah, it's worth noting that yeah, in TRT we decided to have a lineup. Yeah, to rotate a lot of our players in the lineup, to give a chance to everyone. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll try to fix it for next time, but we gotta do what we gotta do for tonight, I guess. So yeah, looks like the next map is gonna be Sentinel by Hot Rod, the host of the tournament and legendary mapper for TMNF. This guy made a insane amount of tech tracks for the different track mini games, especially on this game in particular. And this map is really good in my opinion. It's really standard. It's not innovative at all, but it's a really good map. So yeah, in TRT we decided to be on a lineup with a lot of rotation to make sure everyone gets some playtime. So this is why default will not play on this. Neither will Oregon, even though for sure they would have been really good assets for TRT. It looks like Insanity didn't go down this path, as they only have 4 players on the server. So let's see how many more warm-ups we will have here before resuming this match. I didn't set up a score overlay, but if you just joined, TRT won the first track 7-2, which means they are leading 1-0 in the match. Yeah, looks like the lineups are undecided. We have 4 players warming up. I know default is not supposed to be playing here, so I think it's gonna be Abba, Youth, and Finey. I don't know how to pronounce the J in Portuguese. Maybe if you have some Portuguese in the chat, can tell me the right pronunciation for this player. Is it like the same as the Spanish J? Or is it youth? So yeah, still 4 players warming up for Insanity. And for us as well, but if we stick to what we said, default shouldn't be playing. Even though he's doing really well on this map. It's certainly not my decision to not make default play on this map. And I hope it won't be too costly. Default carried us pretty well on the first track. Looks like we have 2 more warm-ups. Do I have more hotkeys? Okay, at least I have more hotkeys on this map. To avoid having the game to spec behind, I can try to change fairly often POVs, but I guess the result is also pretty weird. Alright, last warm-up. And there's a world record, I think this is BAP, with a 37-37. So yeah, the shortest track out of the 3 we have for this week. I think we are gonna start. Yep, we are gonna start, and it looks like Schnulli is not gonna play, so it's gonna be Valden, K, and Maxi for Insanity, and for us it should be Abba, Faini, and Youth. Yep. No last minute lineup change on our side. So let's see, will Insanity tie up the score? Or will TRT win this second map? K, Valden, and Maxi versus Youth, Faini, and Abba. Here we go. Oh, and Abba with a no drift will crash pretty hard, and yeah, I think he's supposed to be our best player on this track, so it's for sure really good news for Insanity, and it's looking promising for them. With K pretty far in the lead. And this is heavily favoring, yeah, it's even gonna be an ace for Insanity. Scoring the first point here. 36-76, that's a really good match time by K. Playing on a pretty high level so far. Here we go, second round. Oh, and Maxi with an early mistake, so it's a much better start for TRT with Youth up to first, and K crashed, but also Abba. So Youth and Finey first and third. Right now it's a point for TRT, but they need to keep it together, and Valden is putting the pressure on Youth. I think Youth has gone pretty wide. Oh, Youth should be able to hold on to first, and it's gonna be... Oh no, Valden sniped him! Is it still a point for... No, it's gonna be a point for Insanity. I think Youth crashed at the end, because he was really clearly ahead, and he ended up 2 tenths behind. So I think Youth hit the last wall. Oh, costly mistake here, and it's 2-0 for Insanity. And no crashes at the start this time. Oh, and K with the bump. He's gonna drop down a bit, but his teammates are still in a really good position. Still looking pretty good for Insanity. Abba moving up to second place. One doesn't do anything for me default. I tried everything. And it looks like it's gonna be another point for or Insanity, sorry. Yeah, it's gonna be a rainbow, blue-red rainbow for Insanity. 3-0 is the score. TRT not looking as strong on this second map. Oh, and Finey with an early mistake. Definitely not what TRT needs. So Abba and Youth now will need a first and third, which so far they are able to make, but Insanity and Maxi still putting a lot of pressure on Youth, and a really good turn by K here. Let's spectate Youth, but Youth is really far behind, so I think it's gonna be a point for Insanity. Yeah, a fourth point in a row for Insanity. Not looking good for TRT on this track. They will need a pretty huge comeback, and yeah, Insanity looks to have pretty good consistency here as well. And K is able to do really fast times, so it's gonna be really difficult to turn this around for TRT. Oh, and K with a crash, so it's gonna be an opportunity here. There is gonna be an opportunity. This is the best it has been looking so far for TRT. Yorta. And yeah, even if Valden is putting pressure on Abba, will overtake Abba. It's not gonna be enough. Good time by Valden with a 37.69. But it's still gonna be a first point for TRT on this second track. 4-1 is the score on this second track. TRT won the first map 7-2, but it is a lot more difficult for them on this track. Oh, and K with another crash though. So it's gonna be another opportunity for TRT with Insanity's best player out of the picture. Abazo is not off to a good start in 5th place. He would have to overtake Maxi. If he does, it's gonna be a point for TRT. Yeah, with 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, that would be enough. They can let Valden up front. No need to risk this last corner. This should be a 2nd point for TRT. And it is gonna be a 2nd point for TRT, but Valden driving pretty fast here with a 37.63. Feel like if Valden can keep it up and K stop crashing, it's gonna be really difficult for TRT to keep it up, but so far it's not needed. 4-2. They were able to capitalize on those mistakes from Insanity players to reduce the deficit. So far it's a clean start for Insanity, so, and I think so far it's runs slightly in their favor. Yeah, they have 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It's looking to be around for Insanity. Youth and Finey quite far behind. Yeah, Youth and Finey are too far behind unless there's mistakes in the end. It's gonna be a point for Insanity, I believe. And yes, it's gonna be a point for Insanity despite a 37.57 by Abba. I think it's the fastest time we've seen so far. Not enough to bring the point to his team. Really good team effort by Insanity here with a .71, 73, and 82. Strong team performance. 5-2 now is the score in favor of Insanity. They are looking really strong in this track. Valden though crashed, and he's been a really good asset for Insanity, so maybe TRT can pull something off here. Abba fighting with K for first place, Finey and Youth 3rd and 4th. It's looking really good for TRT. Even Abba now with a bit of a lead in first place. If it's not choked, but Abba will crash at the end. Thankfully, it doesn't matter. It's still around for TRT. Still in striking distance. It's not over yet. Score is 5-3, and Insanity players made some mistakes. So if they can feel the pressure a bit, TRT has been pretty good at capitalizing on the mistakes so far. Sadly, Abba is crashing right at the start. The best player in this lineup for TRT. So it's gonna be really difficult. Even though Finey is off to a pretty good start, so if Youth can catch up, maybe they can make something happen. Unfortunately, Finey is dropping down a bit, and Insanity looking pretty strong here with no mistakes. Maxi dropping down a bit, but it's still looking really good for Insanity, moving up to map point with a .66 by Valden. And it's gonna be map point. 6-3 is the score. TRT needs 3 rounds in a row to force tennis mode. Unfortunately, Finey crashed at the very start of the track, so Abba and Youth are in 2v3. They have to make something happen. And it's not looking really good. Youth is quite far behind. Abba is in the mix, but right now it's not enough. It's gonna require a few mistakes from the Insanity players. And they are not making any so far. And yeah, it looks like this will be it for this second track. And yeah, it's gonna be it. GG. Insanity taking this second track 7-3. So it's gonna be one map a piece, and yeah, it's all gonna be decided on the last map. Which sadly I won't cast because I'm gonna be playing. But of course the stream will still be running. So I think our lineup for this is default me and Thiago. So yeah, I will mute mic during the when it will go live. Oh, I'm in the wrong team. Having good warm-ups is seen as a curse sometimes, so if it works the other way around. Two more warm-ups, looks like. Ah. Not gonna get a clean run in those warm-ups. Merci pour le follow, Acti. J'avais pas vu. Yeah, so good luck, have fun. I will mute mic. And see on the other side our lineup is gonna be myself, Default, and Thiago. And yeah, Valden, K, and I don't know who between Maxi and Schnully for Insanity. Yeah, good luck, have fun. Okay, so quite a weird end to this. It seems like we won, but like it shows 1/4 and 6th for us, which should lose us the point. It should have been theirs. But it was a tie for 5th place between Schnulli and I think Thiago. And it showed on the overlay that Thiago was behind, but it's Thiago who got the points for 5th place, even though it said otherwise on the overlay. Um, so it should be ours. What did I click? Let me check my own VOD if I can. Can I see my own VOD? I cannot. Great platform, Twitch. Where is even one the video studio? What the fuck is this website? I don't even. Yeah, I cannot see my VOD. Do I have to restart the stream to see my VOD? Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, okay, here it is. Publish VOD. No, I cannot look at it anymore. Let me restart the stream real quick. I'm just restarting.